just wait for a few more people to join before we get this stream started. It's been nearly 3 months since I last streamed, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, already 30 seconds in, we need a few more people to join. And remember, if you're joining for the first time, make sure you subscribe to my channel for weekly videos, well, at least from now, and make sure you give this stream a like. Trying to hit 500 subscribers pretty soon, so any new subscribers would greatly benefit me. This is strange. How come there's no one who has joined yet? Well, anyway, I'll just give my little intro, just for people who rewatch this stream once it's done. I just want to take, this stream to talk a little bit more about, like, what to do when obstacles get in your way, when you get challenges, why you should feel good about them, why it's okay. And also I wanted, because it's been quite a while since I've last streamed, I just want to give a few channel updates, And there is a big announcement I am gonna have to make. Like for my 500 sub special. Yeah. Okay, I see we have 2 people who have joined. Finally, after like really 3 minutes. Yeah. Well, anyway, if you just joined the stream and you're new to my channel, just make sure you hit that subscribe button for weekly live streams like this, at least from now. It's been nearly 3 months since I've last streamed, so it feels pretty nice to be back again. Yeah. All right, we have 4 people. That's great. And also give this a like if you just joined. It's just top messages. All right, I guess we can get this Q&A started now that we have enough people. So just a little background for those of you who are just joining for the first time. I'm Nishant Praharaj, or Nishant Sensei, my dojo name. I'm an adult black belt in Shotokan karate. I've been doing it for almost 13 years at this point, and on this channel I post a lot of karate videos, some of my training tutorials. I do live Q&As as much as I can, and yeah, so any new subscribers are greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat so I can answer them. Where's my setting? It's just bad. All right. Okay, I see 7 people who have joined, but no one has written anything yet. Hope that's not an issue on my end. All right, to any of the four of you who have joined, feel free to ask anything you'd like. Remember, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I'm doing something very special for my 500 sub special when I get there. Yeah. And give this a like. All right, we have 6 people. Hello, there's not quite sure how to pronounce that. I'm not quite sure what you've written there, but good to have you on the stream. What's that say? Zane Khan. Not quite sure what that means. At least we got someone who finally wrote something in the chat. It's really awkward when, you know, there's more than 5 people on this live stream and yet no one writes anything. So yeah. And just another thing worth saying is it's been nearly 3 months since I've last done a live stream, so yeah, things have been pretty busy for me, so yeah. Okay, let's, for those of you who are joined, please, those of you who joined, please make sure you ask something. Very weird if I just am here staring at the screen and not being able to answer anything. Remember, give this a like if you've joined. We're only 1 like so far. All right, we have 2 likes, perfect. Hey, Coffee, thanks for joining. Good to finally have one strong supporter of mine join a live stream. It's been a while, hasn't it? Okay, we're at 3 likes. That's good. By the end of each live stream, I have a goal that I try to get at least 9 likes per live stream. Because I know a lot of people, they just choose not to like them, but so 9 is a decent number for me. But glad to have you on, Coffee. Okay, we're at 4 people and 3 likes. Okay, that's good. Let's get some more questions rolling in, folks. Okay, finally got a question after 8 minutes. All right. What are other sports which train similar skills required for karate? That's actually a really good question. So karate, like, you know, there is a lot of skills involved. And so one example I can give is, like, for example, when we're training katas, especially for like competitions, you need speed. And you need to be able to move quickly, you know, between moves, between transitions, right? And different stances. So other sports that obviously require speed, as you might know, are like soccer, basketball, even hockey, you know. So that's an example of other sports which train a similar skill to karate. So that's for speed. The other one I can think of is like, because karate, you know, obviously like the sparring we do, it's a little bit aggressive. So sports that have a little bit of physical contact are all right, I guess. Like, you know, I'm not sure if it's rugby or lacrosse where you like are allowed to do physical contact, but I think soccer, you know, soccer is another good example, not just for speed, but also if I'm gonna get really specific, in karate, we have, you're like in a sparring match, you're allowed to trip people, right? and you're allowed to do sweeps and that stuff, right? And in soccer, you know, you have like the slide tackle moves where you trip like the person over one leg. So that's soccer, I'd say, is another really good sport to train, which could also help you in karate as well. Yep. All right. That's a great question, though. Just wish there were more people on the stream. Assuming there probably aren't many people joining because it's been a while since I've last streamed. I'm not sure if that's the reason or if it's because of something else. Okay, we have another question. To what extent does height and weight play a part/advantage in karate? Are there weight classes at the higher level like in MMA or boxing? So here's the thing with karate, the interesting about weight classes in karate. If you're someone who competes but you do kata like me, which is what I specialize in now, there are no weight classes for that. In kata, it's just age divisions, right? Like there's U14, U16, U18, U21, there's 16 plus, that it goes by age. Now in sparring or in karate as what we call kumite, there are age divisions as well, but there are also weight classes. So like there's going to be like under 47 kilos, 55, you know, like you'll have those like kind of increments. So it's only in sparring. Sparring is like the only part in karate where there are actually weight classes involved. And now, if you're asking if they have an advantage, in sparring, height definitely does have an advantage. And I've seen myself, like, obviously, if you're fighting someone who's shorter than you, like if you want to land a head. So here's the thing: head kicks are worth 3 points in sparring, right? So if you land a head kick. Think about it. If you're really tall and someone's shorter than you, you can easily land a head kick on them because you don't need to kick very high. Like, you know, you can like kick like this high and you can still get a point, right? All right, get those 3 points, right? So that's one example of where height would definitely have an advantage in karate sparring. But in kata, like height, the thing with height in kata is, especially if you're in like the elite divisions, one important part of kata, really important part, is having low stances. And the thing is, typically how it is that with taller people, it's very noticeable if the stance isn't long enough. But if you're a shorter person, because you're already like a bit lower, like your head height's lower, if you go into a stance, you're going to be even lower. But for a tall person, it's obviously going to be harder, right? So in kata, height might have a disadvantage in the like if you're thinking about stances, but in sparring, height definitely does have an advantage. Yeah, that's the best way I could answer your question. If I was in the UFC, what would my walkout song be? I've never really thought of that. What my walkout song? So I'm assuming you're talking about what song I'd like to be played on speakers as I walk out of the ring. Maybe YMCA. I think that's a pretty good song. Very energetic, very strong vibes. Yeah, I vibe pretty easily to that song, so yeah. All right. Remember, if you've just joined, make sure you smash that subscribe button and give this stream a like. For those of you who like are new to my channel. Maybe as time goes on, we'll get more people to join. if you could have any person in your corner for a fight, who would it be? What do you mean by person? Like just like anyone, or does it have to be someone famous? Anyone. I mean, I really don't want to call anyone out here. I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that. I don't really. I typically choose not to pick a fight with anyone, but if I really wanted someone in my corner fighting me, I'd probably. I don't know. I mean, I I have I have fought like Muay Thai fighters before, so I wouldn't fight, and I wouldn't mind fighting someone who does Muay Thai. Karate is definitely someone who I can easily fight against, because if they do the same martial art as me, like I could also fight them. Sorry, no, it would be pretty easy for me to fight them because they do the same martial art. But uh, I don't know. I'm not okay. The thing is, I'm not gonna call anyone out. So honestly, I'd probably be okay to fight anyone in my corner, as long like anyone who's not like buff or like insanely like taller than me, I'd say, because then they'd have a bit of an unfair advantage. And the other thing I actually should point out, and which I think is very important to be aware of, is that what you'll hear some people say, and this is just their opinion. What a lot of people will say is that size and height don't really matter in martial arts. Now, that might be true sometimes, but at the same time, it's also not. So, like, my answer to that is like yes and no, because obviously like being taller than someone definitely has an advantage. Like I explained, you can land head kicks easier, you can you can land anything on them more easily because you're like taller than them. But at the same time, being shorter could also have an advantage because you could aim for like lower points, which are brutal. You know what I'm talking about, like much more easily. Whereas if you're taller, you'd have to like go down more, which would just take more time. So that's something that to be aware of. So yes, height definitely has an advantage, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that the taller person would always win the fight. It's not. It's not really. It's not only about that. Okay. Why are we getting stuck at like 5 people and then it just goes down? And if you guys know anyone who'd be interested in my channel, if you could promote my channel to them, that'd be great. I'm doing everything I can, but any help I get with that would also be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's get more questions rolling in, folks. Okay, it dropped to 0 for some reason, back to 1. Remember, if you just joined, don't be shy to ask a question. As long as it's appropriate, then it's okay. And as long as it's on topic. And the reason why, actually, I should also say this. you know, for anyone watching right now. The reason why I made this stream, I titled it like this, talking about challenges, is because while a lot of people would think that there's something which would demotivate you or would make you feel like you aren't worth anything, that cannot be further from the truth. Because recently I actually watched an Instagram reel, because I get a lot of like the motivational speeches that show up on my feed, because that's really what I watch a lot of, you know. So that's why I'd be recommended so many of those videos. And recently I saw one which said that when things it no wait it said your greatest successes come after your hardest battles. And that really goes to show that all the challenges you face, all the obstacles that come in your way, not only make you a stronger person, but it also leads you more to the correct path to succeed. And that's really the way I think about it. Because before, especially when I was younger, I used to think like, oh my God, things are getting hard. What am I going to do? Is it over for me? But again, it's really the mindset that's super important. You really got to like manifest that, you know, you can get through it. And of course, don't quit. That's something which I really have ingrained in my mind. And a lot of successful people will also tell you this. And I really convey this to I really make my live streams where I can convey these piece of advice, because I just don't want people to make the same mistakes I made, you know? And I don't want them to think the same way I used to about certain things, which is why I like talking about them. Okay, let's get more questions rolling in. Okay, it's really strange how it's only fluctuating between 1 and 2 people who have joined. I'm gonna do this for like about an hour or a little more than that, so yeah. Alright, we have 4 people who have joined, that's great. Remember, if you've just joined, just a little background information. I'm Nishant Sensei. I have 3 black belts in Shotokan Karate. I'm an adult black belt, and on this channel, I teach a lot of stuff about karate. Alright, let's see. If you could fight alongside anyone in a 2v2 math, who would it be? Okay, I'm not going to call anyone out, so I don't know if I'll answer that question. How do you maintain discipline? Well, for me, maintaining discipline, I really think of it as mainly just, you know, consistently practicing what I learn, you know, and also like, and consistency is something which I think is really important to maintain, because a lot of people who start like martial arts for the first time, they'll be like somewhat consistent for like the first month, but then they get bored, and then they slowly, the amount of times they go to their school, it reduces, and then at one point it comes to them just completely quitting. But discipline, for me, really, in terms of karate, is really being consistent with my training, and not just like, just saying that isn't enough. I mean, like, Not just consistency as in just showing up, but also whatever I learn, I make sure to practice that a certain number of times every week. That really for me is how I maintain discipline. So for me, it's more linked to like consistency. And let's say like I forget to train one day, I'll make sure to compensate for that on another day when I'm free. That's really how I do things. How do I apply karate to my everyday life? I really like that question. That's really, really good. Let me think. Okay, here's the thing. I will say karate has, like, okay, I need to think of how to word this properly. Like, a lot of people, they think that martial arts is just meant to help you like be able to fight people easily and like be able to defend yourself. And while that is true, and that's what I really want to get to just now, right now, is karate has definitely helped me learn self-defense. That's definitely like number one, or one of the biggest things it has taught me. Self-defense, very important for me. But at the same time, it's not just self-defense in a physical way. Like, I have been able to use what I learned to defend myself. Like, someone really tried to attack me, I have been able to, you know, defend myself without like escalating it even further, and without like getting into like a fight, you know. But another way I've applied it to my everyday life is also the lessons I learn are really what I use. Like, for example, like discipline, what I was talking about, like that, maintaining that in my training and in the dojo also helps me maintain discipline and my outside dojo life as well, you know, when I have other things to do. And so that's one example. Another thing is, like, another lesson that karate really has taught me, which I've used a lot in my everyday life, is really and this is where actually competing has really helped me. Because when I first started competing, I really fell into this mindset that I had to win. Like, I thought winning was all that mattered, right? But then gradually, as I started getting more experience, and as I started getting, doing a lot more matches and facing a lot more people, I came to a realization that winning isn't the only thing that matters, especially not just when you compete, but even in life. It's not just about winning. Sometimes it's also about getting the experience you need, because then it's the experience that will help you to eventually become successful, you know. And another lesson that really I've been able to use is, like, losing is completely fine, and it's not necessarily the opposite of being successful. It's sometimes a part of being successful. So, you know, the other way karate has really helped me in my everyday life, just to sum it up, is also those lessons. It has really strengthened my mentality, and that's really what, you know, what differentiates me now versus who I was just a few years ago. Hello, Osman. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you so much for joining. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. What do you teach? Well, I teach karate. I also teach cubing, and yeah. I teach Shotokan karate, by the way. That's the type of karate. Let's see, what have you had? Are you fast? Yeah, I am fast. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I am. If you're asking in terms of sparring, yeah, I'm pretty fast. And also when I practice my forms as well, I'm also pretty fast at that. Speed has definitely been one of my biggest strengths in karate. Losing is not okay. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, I understand that winning is definitely important. It can be important to a lot of people. Okay. When I say losing is okay, I don't mean losing on purpose. That's not what I mean at all. I mean, even when you put in your all, put in your 100%, you do your best and you lose, don't feel too down about it. Don't dwell on it so much. Because a lot of people who are who are like now champions, as you see, they've lost at least once in their life, and it's a part of becoming successful. So I'm not saying you should lose on purpose. I'm just saying if you lose just like unintentionally, of course, if you do your best, you lose, don't dwell on it too much, and it's not the end of the world. Can I practice my form now? Fortunately, I'm not really in the right clothes to do any forms, but if you go to my channel, you can find videos where I do practice my forms and also where I teach some of my forms. So if you'd like to check that out, you can find it on my channel. Man, I am so interesting. Oh, thank you. I'm assuming you mean that in a nice way. Yeah. If you find me interesting, make sure you click the subscribe button. And I do live streams every week. Except for the past couple months I've not, but before that I had to take a little break, but now, like every week, I will be doing a live stream. At least I'm going to do my very best to stick to that. I will, I promise. All right, I'll give you a shout out for that. Thank you so much, Osman. By the way, I don't know how to pronounce your last name because I don't want to be disrespectful, so that's why I'm not pronouncing it. But I really appreciate the questions you're asking. I need more people who ask questions like that. Are we friends then? See, anyone who respects me is someone who I'll obviously respect, you know? And anyone who does good things, who's a good person, who's nice, I will want to be friends with them. So, sure. Like, why not? Of course. Yeah, we can be friends, yeah. All right, let's get more questions rolling in. You don't respect me. Okay. I don't know if you're just trolling or... Yeah. Okay. Wish we'd be getting... Oh, you're joking. I thought you were being serious for a second. No, but I really appreciate the questions you're asking. It's really good. Oh, and make sure if you haven't already, give this stream a like. You know, this live stream, I also wanted to make it about like updates for my channel and what my future plans are, you know? I'm boxing for 6 years now. Would you win in sparring with me? I'm pretty strong. No, I believe you're strong. Okay, I believe that. There's no reason why I wouldn't believe that. But see, when people ask me questions like, would I beat this guy in a fight? Would I win? Like, typically those are questions which I don't like responding to because, think about it. Who wins in a fight, it's really not necessarily only about the martial art you trained in. It's also about how much experience or what you've made out of your experience training in that martial art, right? And I think 6 years is really good. And I've been training Shotokan for 13 years. But just because I've been doing it for 13 years, that doesn't guarantee that I'd win against you in a match, right? So, you know, there are these different factors you'd have to consider. So when you ask someone, would they win against this guy in a fight, like, you really can't answer that unless you actually do it, which, like, I'm assuming we're not going to do. But I think it's pretty cool that you do boxing. I've also had some training in boxing. I have a punching bag right here. Yeah, it's not on camera, but it's here. Okay, but what will you do if I hit the most dangerous left hook? Well, left hook, see, the thing is, left hook, in karate, we learn two types of defensive like blocks. One type is for straight line punches, the other one is for round line punches, right? And because a hook is a round line punch, there are certain blocks I know for how to block that, you know? So it's good that I've learned both. You can't dodge what you don't see coming, bro. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right about that. But that's why you gotta do your best to see what is coming. You gotta like kind of be able to anticipate. And when you see someone do an extra step before throwing something, they're telegraphing it. And telegraph moves is something which I can detect very, very easily. Oh, I believe you're fast. Never said you weren't. Just wish we had more people on the stream. More people like you, yeah. You know, I wish there were more people on the stream who would ask questions like you are, you know. Dave. Hello Dave, thanks for joining the stream. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm an adult black belt in Shotokan karate, and I've been doing it for 13 years, but anyway, when was my last fight? My last fight, okay, the exact date I had my last fight was on May the 4th. Yes, May the 4th of this year. Yeah. I've never had someone on my live streams ask me when my last fight was. So okay, let's get more questions rolling in, folks. Hello, Emil. Thank you for joining the stream. When is my next fight? See, I don't know for sure yet, but it's probably gonna be on the 20th of this month. Yeah. Oh, by the way, on this channel, if you subscribe to my channel, when you subscribe to my channel, if you go to my channel, I have also posted tutorials on different fighting techniques. So if you'd like to check those out, that would be great. And I actually teach a lot of different type of kicks, which is pretty weird because in karate we train more hand techniques than kicks, but because I do have a bit of training in Taekwondo, I do also know a lot of kicking techniques, which is how I've been able to make tutorials on them. By the way, thanks Osman for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna give you a shout out. Oh yeah, and I should say, for those of you who are new to my channel and you subscribe, if I'm aware of it, I give live shout outs as well. Okay, let's get more questions rolling in, folks. See, we have 3 people, so assuming we could get at least 3 more questions. Or is it just... I'm thinking in a few minutes I will make a big announcement for this channel about my 500 subscriber special. But I'll just wait if there are any questions before that. Right. Okay, we have 4 people. If you have a question, remember, you know where to write it. And remember, if you want weekly live streams like this, you should subscribe. You should. Do I know any boxing? Well, I was actually telling someone on the stream a few minutes ago, Emil, that I have actually trained quite a bit in boxing. And as a matter of fact, I have a punching bag right here, which I train boxing on. And I've also done some kickboxing too, so yeah, I do know boxing. Yeah. How have you been doing, by the way? I hope everyone's doing great and everyone's having a great summer. Do I have any tips? Well, one really good tip I have, which I learned when I started training boxing, is it's very important you keep your hands close to your head, to your face, right? And that's really different from karate, because in karate we're used to having like hands out here, like in a nice wide fighting stance, so that we could get more range on our punches, right? But in boxing, you really need to have your hands close and also have your shoulders relaxed. Don't be like this, because the moment you're like this, it's basically an indication to the person you're against that you're scared to fight, and you don't want to give off those kind of vibes. So really be relaxed, hands close, and really elbows tucked in as well. Don't be like this, and really with your punches, you want to be able to like throw them like pretty fast, you know, like that. That was just a rough example. I also sitting in the chair. How can I do it that well? You've been learning how to do a jab and hooks. That's really good. That's really good. And on my channel, I might actually, in these coming weeks or maybe the next month, I will potentially post a video or tutorial on the different types of punches you can throw. Because in karate, we also have jab and hook punches as well. And we also have uppercut. So all the, whoops, what was that? So what I was going to say is, all those punches you see in boxing are also ones we have in karate as well. Or almost all, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I know, that would be good. The strategy I'm just trying to figure out right now is just how to get more reach on YouTube, you know? Because it's not always fun, especially on a live stream where, you know, you're staring at the screen for some time and not many, even if there are a good number of people who have joined, they're not writing anything in the chat. Are there difference? Emil, could you specify what you mean by that question? Like difference in what? Like, what are you asking? Like, are there differences between like different type of punches or something else? Like jabs in karate and boxing? Well, they are very similar, I will say. Like, the thing with the jab is basically from here, you're just straight from there without winding up or anything. You're just throwing a punch like that to the face, fully extending and back. Now, the only potential difference I can think of, and this thing is widely emphasized in karate. Not sure about boxing from what I've seen, but in boxing, obviously, like you want to be able to throw punches fast, right? So, but the thing is, sometimes technique gets compromised for speed, right? But in karate, what we're really taught is even if you're going to do a technique with speed, it's very important you finish the technique, right? So even if we're going to do a really fast jab, it's very important that you fully extend your arm and then pull it back, right? Because sometimes in boxing, what I've seen is people just throw jabs like this, just like that, like just like a mini jab. But in karate, our jabbing punch really involves full extension. Even if it'll take like a second longer, it's so important you show the full technique. Don't compromise it just for the sake of speed. Speed, while important, while speed is important, technique is also just as important. So really, a good karate jab would really look like this. See how I'm fully extending that punch? And when you fully extend it, that also gets more power. Whereas just doing this, there probably isn't that much power in that. So that's probably the only difference I can think of between a karate jab and a boxing jab. But technique-wise, or how to do it wise, it's pretty similar. All right, we have 5 people on this stream. That's great. Remember, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm Nishant Sensei, an adult black belt in karate, and I've been doing it for 13 years. And on this channel, I give advice, tutorials, and my training tips as well. So when would I want to throw a jab in a fight if my opponent's hands are protecting their face? So here's the thing, jabs are mainly thrown to the face, right? So if your opponent's hands are really close to their face, then that's probably not a target you'd want to aim for. And the thing is, it's really good that you're giving the example of if it's close to their face, because especially in I'll try to be polite, but if you notice their hands are close to their face, then that also tells you that they're not protecting their lower body. So if their hands are close to their face, a jab to the face is probably not the best option because they could block it, so it's really important, especially if you're in a fight, that you try to strike somewhere where your opponent is most vulnerable and where your opponent is not protecting themselves well, right? And that's why even in karate sparring, even if someone's protecting their head to their solar plexus very well, if their back is open, boom, roundhouse kick, rear leg roundhouse kick with full hips to the back, 2 points in a sparring match. Yeah, that's just another example. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. I'm very, very glad I was able to help you out, Emil. Hope you've been doing well, by the way. By the way, for those of you in the chat, what plans do you all have for your summer? Have you guys been traveling anywhere, doing anything fun? Let's try to make this a little more engaging. Oh, you're studying. Oh, well, it's very important to make sure that that's great that you're doing that, but also you want to have a balance between that and also having quality time as well. So even if you're spending a lot of time studying, make sure you spend some time outdoors, spend some time doing some fun stuff. And it's really good that, Emil, that you're learning how to throw a jab. That's a very good thing to do as one of your pastimes. Remember, if you just joined the stream, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Yeah. Thinking of doing my next live stream on next Wednesday. Yeah. But too many mosquitoes when you went outside. I know. Mosquitoes will always be there during the summertime, but that's why you gotta use something called bug spray. I didn't mean that in a rude way. I mean, like, just make sure you, like, if you put enough bug spray, they should leave you alone. Good thing I was able to remind you. Yeah. Bug spray, all that. You know, some people used to joke because when I was younger, I used to attract mosquitoes pretty easily, and they used to make a joke saying that they were really attracted to me because my blood is very sweet, which I found kind of funny. But I mean, at the same time, it could be true. You never know. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking. Okay, for those of you, actually, wait. I'll wait until there are a few more people because there's a big question I need to ask, and I want everyone to respond because it's a big announcement I have to make. I don't know if that's true, but they're attracted to certain blood types. I mean, that is very likely true, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was. All right, now that we're at 5 people, I need to ask an important question. So, for all of you who are on my stream right now, just please, if I could have just 2 more minutes of your time, that would be great. So, as you know, I've been trying to hit the goal for a while now of hitting 500 subscribers, right? And that's why I've been emphasizing through my stream so much about subscribing to my channel. And the reason why I really, really want that to happen is not only to hit 500 subscribers, but also because my plan at 500 subscribers is to potentially do a live stream, but instead of it being a Q&A, I want to make it a 500 sub special live stream where I do a live ranking of all the Karate Kid movies that have released since 1984. How would you like that? And that's my 500 sub live stream plan. Because recently I've actually been just binge watching a bunch of the old Karate Kid movies, and I don't know, they're just so nostalgic. I remember, and actually, I should do a live stream dedicated to this as well because this month marks 5 years of me being a Karate Kid fan. 5 years ago, around this time, I started being a huge fan of the Karate Kid movies. So rewatching them all now, it's been really nostalgic, you know. And I also watched Karate Kid Legends, the new one that released in May in theaters, in Cineplex recently. By the way, what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on Karate Kid Legends? Do you think it's as good as the OG Karate Kid movies, or not as good? So yeah, going back to what I was saying, so I was thinking that it'd be pretty cool if I do a live stream to dedicated to me being a Karate Kid fan for 5 years, and also doing one where I rank all the Karate Kid movies from 1984 up till this year. Oh, you haven't watched it yet? Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry. By the way, for those of you who are in the chat now, I want you guys to tell me um, which out of all the Karate Kid movies was your favorite and why? Like out of the ones you've watched, like which one is your favorite? I really like asking people this question because like the range of answers I get is very interesting. Yeah, so which Which Karate Kid movie is your guys' favorite? Write it in the chat now. Karate Kid 3 with Terry Silver. Yo, Emil, you and I are alike, man. Okay, here's the thing with Karate Kid 3. I do not understand the negative reviews on Google and Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb on Karate Kid 3. Because Terry Silver, in my opinion, is by far the best villain in the whole Karate Kid franchise. Like, out of all the villains there's been, Terry Silver, for me, has been hands down the best villain. That for real, right? I don't know if you guys will agree. And if you think someone else was the better villain, like, I respect your opinion. I respect it either way. But for me, I think Terry Silver was the best villain. Like, his maniacal laugh, and also how he pretended to be a nice guy when he was actually trying to terrorize a teenager. That was a pretty interesting plot point. And also Mike Barnes, how every time he'd like attack someone, he'd like make those like really funny noises. He'd like like that. I found that pretty funny as well. Yeah. I mean, the good thing, Karate Kid 3 still was very successful at box office, but a lot of people consider it the worst out of the trilogy. I mean, I understand why a lot of people say Karate Kid 1 is the best, and as all film franchises go, like, a lot of people are going to say the first one is the best because it's a completely original idea. But at the same time, there are instances where the second and third movie could also be a hit. All right, I see more people have joined. So for those of you who just joined, I want you guys to put in the chat right now, which was your favorite Karate Kid movie and why? Emil has already put his, so if you guys could put yours, that'd be great. Oh, we got 4 likes? Nice. Thanks to whoever gave this a like. Emil, I'm actually pretty curious to know. Like, was it just Terry Silver that was your favorite part of the Karate Kid Part 3, or was there another part of it that you really liked? Remember, if you just joined, put in what your favorite Karate Kid movie is. I'd like to know. Anyone? You just liked how evil he was. I know, he was... I don't know, for me, I personally think he was like the best villain. I remember one time, he was way worse than Kreese. Oh yeah, Kreese was one thing, but Silver was like on another whole level. Kreese was like, I don't know, Kreese, like, based on the first Karate Kid movie, he wasn't evil, he was just like an ordinary bad guy, but Silver was like more than a notch higher. He was like more than evil. I remember one time I was somewhere and I opened up YouTube to listen to some music, and on my YouTube feed, a clip from Karate Kid 3 showed up, which was the clip, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was Mr. Miyagi versus Terry Silver. You know, at the end of the movie where Silver like tries to beat up Mr. Miyagi, but Mr. Miyagi throws him into the mirror, and then like some white substance falls all over him. So that clip just randomly showed up on my feed, even though I hadn't watched Karate Kid 3 in like a few years. And I remember like there was someone like near me who like burst out in laughter when they saw that show up on my feed. Yeah. No, and then and the funny part about that clip was right after. Oh yeah, Neil, that was you. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It was such a long time ago, so I kind of forgot. But thanks for reminding me, man. But yeah, so what I loved about that clip was how so over at the beginning, before he attacks Mr. Miyagi, he's like, wah, wah. He makes all those like weird karate noises. But then when Mr. Miyagi finishes him off, he then goes, he himself mocks Silver and he's like, aw, wah, like that. You know, I just realized how many of you would like to see how many of you would like to see me react to all the Karate Kid fight scenes? Like, how many of you want to see a video of me reacting to all the fight scenes in the OG Karate Kid movies? Because honestly, I think that'd be a pretty banger idea. And I think a lot of people would. Oh, Emil, let's watch our language, all right? Just be careful. All right, take care, Emil. Best of luck. And I'll see you next week. No problem. Just here to remind you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, the rest of you who are on the stream, none of you have still, other than Emil, have told me what your favorite Karate Kid movie is. I just really want to know. It's kind of like a live survey I'm doing, you know? Because the thing is, I have to end the stream in like 20 to 30 minutes, so any other questions would be great. Remember, give this stream a like. Okay, we only have one person, but there should be a few more that joined. Just once again, I'm really sorry I haven't streamed in 3 months, guys. Things have been really busy the past few months, so that's why if you notice this year I haven't been able to post that consistently, but I will be now. So, yeah, that's some good news. And again, make sure if you're new, subscribe to this channel to help me get to 500 subs so that I can do a live ranking of all the Karate Kid movies. All right, we have 4 people. Okay, if none of you really want to say what your favorite Karate Kid movie is, then at least if you could just say which part of which movie you really like the most, that would also be fine. I'm just really curious to know, guys, you know? Because a lot of people, they tell me that the first one was their favorite. Some people say the second one was great. Some people even say the third one was the best. And it's also the opposite. Luhan Van Heerden. Oh, hello, Luhan. If you're new to my channel, if you could please subscribe, that would be great. The Karate Man in the house. I like that. I actually like that. But thanks for joining. I was actually just asking everyone on the stream, whoever was like, hey, like, damn, God, that stash is. I'm not quite sure what that means. Yeah. Okay, I was okay. Oh, thanks for giving this a like, by the way. Yeah. I was just asking everyone in the chat what their favorite Karate Kid movie was and why. I'm just curious to know. Because my plan is when I hit 500 subs, I'm gonna do a live ranking of all the Karate Kid movies. That's my plan. That's my special 500 sub plan. It means kudos on the absolute awesome mustache. Oh, thank you. If you noticed, I've also shaved my little beard as well. Or goatee, the one that was growing here. So yeah, it's just a mustache now. How have you been doing, by the way? You joined one of my previous live streams, right? Okay. Remember, if you just joined, you know what button to click. Severe then. The first Karate Kid with William Zabka and Ralph Macchio. Yeah, honestly, I agree. The first Karate Kid movie was the pure OG one, and it obviously was the best because it was like the first one, and it was a completely new idea. Yeah. Oh yeah, you joined on one of my live streams back in February, I think. Wow, so it's been 5 months. Hope you've been doing well. Yeah, no, but I agree. The first Karate Kid movie was really good. Honestly, I think the first three were the best ones in the franchise. All right, sorry about that. Something popped on my phone, so it got me disconnected for a bit. Right, let's get some more questions rolling in, folks. I got 20 minutes left on the stream, so anything I get, I'd be more than appreciative. By the way, for those of you who have joined, I just want to know if you could write in the chat, if you could also write in chat what video you'd like to see next, that would also be really helpful. You also like the one with Jaden Smith, but to be specific, I like the scene with the super big karate schools. Oh yeah, yeah, that was also that was a pretty iconic scene. Yeah, I remember that, and it really looked nice how they were training their forms. Looked really nice. Yeah, I also really liked that one, and that one was a reboot of the first Karate Kid movie. So storyline was very similar, but the actors were really good. And because my idol Jackie Chan was in it, that just was like a highlight for me. Speaking of which, what other martial arts movies have you guys seen? Because I've seen many. I've seen Return of the Dragon, Fist of Fury, Enter the Dragon. Um, yeah, I've seen Rush Hour. Isn't there another one on the way? So Luhan, there was a Karate Kid movie called Karate Kid Legends that released on May 30th. And it has Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and Ben Wang. The Last Samurai. I think I've heard of that, but I don't think I've seen it. No. Let's see if we can get any more people joining this stream. Like a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies as well, like Kickboxer. I've seen Kickboxer as well. I've also seen Bloodsport. I'm not sure if you've seen Bloodsport, but that's also a really good Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And both those had like their very iconic kick of his called the helicopter kick. You know, the jump spin split kick where you like spread both your legs out and it's like a jump spin hook kick. That's definitely one of the most iconic kicks, in my opinion, ever in the history of martial arts movies. Yeah, it was iconic. For the rest of you who are on the stream, write in the chat what other Jean-Claude Van Damme movies you've seen. Saw him do the split in a Volvo truck advert. Wow, that's really cool. I mean, yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's very flexible. He's a very flexible person. Yeah. He's done the splits not just in movies, but even in, I think I saw an interview where he also did the splits, like the full splits. And yeah, he's a cool guy. It's just kind of sad he's in his mid 60s now, so he doesn't do really any more action movies. He split between two moving semi trucks. Wow. That's really cool. What movie was that in? I'd like to see that. He did a split between two moving trucks. Wow. That's even cooler than insane. That's more than insane. Like, how do you do that? It's literally a Volvo semi-truck advert. Oh, I see. How fast were the trucks moving at? Was it like really fast or was it like somewhat slow? Because it must be hard to maintain the splits between two trucks that are moving like really fast. And also, if you don't have the right grip, if they're going really fast, you could like slip off and fall. All right. Because not many people are joining, I might have to end this stream in 5 to 10 minutes. So anyone who's on, ask any last minute questions you guys got. How have I been? I'm really, really happy you asked, so I'll give you a shout out for that. I've been doing pretty good, and if you're wondering why I haven't streamed in a few months, it's just because I've been so busy with, with other things. Because, my YouTube channel isn't the only thing I have in my life. Like, I have my karate job and all those other stuff, so I've been really busy with that. Also with my tournaments, I had my third black belt test in May, so yeah, it was really tough to post on my channel during that time. But I've been doing great now that, especially now that it's the summer. How have you been doing? I hope you've been doing great as well. I hope you all have been doing well. Okay, we got 4 people. Remember, any last minute questions you guys got, you know where to write it. So I'm gonna have to end in 5 minutes. Mark probably could stay a little longer than that. And remember, give this stream a like if you haven't already, and subscribe to my channel if you wanna learn. Oh, I've been doing good. Busy training for an Ironman marathon, so laid off judo for a while. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me on that live stream back in February that you've been no you yeah you have been doing judo for a while. I hope that's been going well. But for an Ironman marathon, never heard of that. Ironman marathon. That sounds really cool. I hope your training for that has been going well. It's probably tough, isn't it? Because I know, as far as I'm aware, training for marathons is a little tough. It's swimming, cycling, and running. Oh wow. Oh, so it's not just running. Oh, I see. That's really cool. I mean, whatever's there, like Luan, I'm sure you'll do a great job. I believe in you. I'm sure you will do a phenomenal job. "2.5 miles swim, 22-mile run, and about 100 miles cycling." Oh, oh wow, that seems so tough. I'm not even sure if I'd be able to do that. I mean, I haven't done swimming in a few years. Uh, 22-mile run. Oh wow, 100 mile cycling. I used to do a lot of cycling a few years ago, but I kind of had to stop because my bike was getting a bit rusty, especially the tires part, and also I got busy with other activities. But it's great you're staying active like that. That's really good exercise. So when are you gonna return to judo? What is your ultimate goal in martial arts? Ultimately, my goal is not only to achieve the highest level of black belt possible, like I'm really trying to aim for 10th, but at the same time, sorry, weather notification. Yeah, so that I'm really trying to, that's one big goal I have in my karate journey. But my other big goal is also opening my own dojo and just being able to teach a broader audience, you know? Because on my YouTube channel, I can only teach so many people, especially because like I'm not, like I'm still like quite below 500 subscribers. I mean, as my channel grows, I'll be able to teach more people. But my goal is to also be able to give private lessons as well, and just yeah, mainly teach a broader audience. And that's why I'm really trying to grow this channel, and I'm really trying to like. I'll return in the next few weeks. Oh, to judo. I'm assuming you're talking about. It's the National South African Championships this week, so Sensei is busy there. Maybe after next week, I'll continue there. Well, I mean, that's great to hear. I mean, sometimes like you do need to like some people do need to take a break from martial arts for other things because I understand it's not the only thing that's in their lives. And training for a marathon is also just as important. So it makes complete sense why you had to take a little break from judo. But I'm very happy to hear that you'll be returning next week. You know? And it's okay because the thing is a lot of people, especially like in my community, there are some people who just like kind of like find excuses as to just so that they don't have to go for training or go for classes. But that that is what was I going to say? But that, of course, you know, it's not a good thing to do. You know, you should try to be as consistent as you can. But if it's a case where you have another big event and that's why you have to like take a break for a while, that's completely fine. But like, it's just people who make excuses just not to train. I don't know. I don't really agree with that. But I'm very interesting that you're doing a marathon with all those activities. Our sensei has 35 years of experience and hasn't competed in over 10 years. Now he's getting back into competing at age 52. So it's quite funny for the students in the class to see the old man train. Well, I mean, it's also important to remember that going after your dreams or doing what you like desire or like what you have an ambition for, there's no age limit to that. Like you can you even if you're at that age, that the age itself shouldn't stop you from doing what you love. And you shouldn't use it as a reason. You should do it regardless of what your age is, and you should do it because you want to do it for you. That's what I think is very important. Because my grandmaster in karate is at the age of 60, and and I actually have a few who are in their 60s, and they still continue to do it because they know it'll keep them physically active and healthy, which is especially important at that age. So the fact that he's 52 and doing it, that's still really good. I know I know a lot of celebrity, I mean no, not a lot. I know a few people who didn't become like insanely successful until they were in their 60s, like Warren Buffett for example. He didn't become a billionaire until he was like 65, I think. So yeah. So age really shouldn't stop you from going after what you desire. And like Arnold, he at the age of 78, he's still going to the gym, lifting weights and doing all that, and that's how he's still super fit. All right. Well, if no one else is gonna join or ask any other questions, I'm probably gonna have to end the stream. But I'll just wait. Maybe I'll take one or two more questions and then I'll end the stream. How about that? If there's any other questions, just put it in. Yeah. I'm assuming that the reason why I didn't get too many people, the max number of people watching on the stream was like 10, is probably because I just haven't posted anything since April 29th, like no content, so maybe that's why, but I will get back to it. Are there any other questions, folks? Oh, there's a new message. He does L-sit rope climbs better than the 20-year-olds. I mean, yeah, being older doesn't mean that you can't do certain exercises better than people who are younger. I know quite a number of older people who do like many exercises better than what most people my age do. Like, it is a possibility for sure. Okay, we got two more questions. Thank you so much, Luhan, for staying on the stream, even when no one else chose to. It's really doesn't feel good when you ask people, if you tell people to ask questions, and even if you see there are people who have clearly joined, they still don't ask anything. Like, okay, best value karate instilled in me. Well, even though you asked for best value singular, I actually have two. One is discipline, and another is a strong mindset. Strong and healthy mindset. So discipline and strong mindset. Number two, what is one sentence you would use for a beginner that wants to start karate? One sentence. Wow, these are really good questions you're asking, bro. One sentence I would use for a beginner that wants to start karate. I would say, once you start, here's a sentence, all right? Once you start your training, stay consistent, be consistent in training what you've learned, and never give up. Never quit. That's what I'll say. Yeah. All right, well, it's been 1.5 hours of streaming, folks. So I will have to wrap it up here, or end it here. Thank you all so much for who joined the stream. And remember, if you just joined, I'm letting you know now that if you could please subscribe to my channel and help me hit that 500 subscriber goal so I can do a live ranking of all the Karate Kid movies. I'd greatly appreciate that. And I will see you all on another live stream next week. Take care, everyone. Make sure you give the stream a like as well. Oh, wait. Oh, one more question. How would you like the people in the dojo to describe you to someone who never met you? Well, I definitely like them to describe me as hardworking, keen, intelligent, considerate, like those kind of type of words, I'd really appreciate. All right, take care, everyone. I'll end it here, and I really appreciate all the questions I got. Thank you, Luhan, and thank you so much for asking all those questions. You ask very good questions. Yep, I'll see you next week. Take care.